Ladies and gentlemen, again, good morning and welcome to Gashi's Kaman TV, the Tourist Man in Black Africa. Yesterday's demonstrations were marked by serious protests, and I want to make a number of observations about these protests so that it can assist the future planning, so that it can assist the government, it can also assist the protesters. The first thing I noted is that the military was missing in action. You know very well that the military had been brought to assist the policemen, but the military was nowhere to be seen. The second thing that we noted is that in the past, we had seen the police use live bullets on peaceful protesters, and the same thing was repeated yesterday. However, what shocked me and many Kenyans is what happened in Mombasa and Nairobi. Goons came to steal, to destroy, and to loot the properties of businessmen. But shockingly, the policemen were not interfering with them. The policemen were just watching. They did not bother to stop them. Again, goons who are wielding knives. Imagine visu, wengine walikuwa wamebeba visu, waliwadugaduga waandamanaji, polisi wakiwa tu pale, hasa kule Mombasa, without doing anything. And the big question is, what happened to the military? Did the military refuse to play the ball? And when the military refused, the goons were brought to help the policemen. We know very well that the military personnel were apparently authorized to help the police, to man the security in the city, but they were not to be seen. Why did they not come? Are we creating another group like we saw it in 1990s? Because it looked like this is a government of goons. It looked like the goons are here to stay with us. Anyway, what we can say is that if what we are seeing is anything to go by, we are losing this country. Again, Andrew Mwiga says that he watched an 80-year-old granny being interviewed on Inoro morning program, and she narrated how she was struck in Uhuru Highway on the fateful Tuesday, and how 3 Gen Z came to her, asked what was the problem, and took her to the CBD, where she took Uber. She said she wanted to give them chai, but they said no thanks. These were the same Gen Z on the road today and yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, who sponsored this gang? Who sponsored these goons? Why are we seeing the repeat of what we saw in the Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta Northland Farm? And again, what can we say about these demonstrations? Because you see, I also noted that in Mombasa, a man who is said to own a gun, a private gun, shot in the stomach. Shot a demonstrator in the stomach. Polisi ya kufanya lolote, tuona tu pale bila kufanya chochote. But the most shocking thing is that the regime seems not to know what to do with this protest. This wave did not come as a surprise. If William Samoei Ruto is actually getting the briefs, the intelligence briefs that he is expected to get, we can only say that it was not a surprise. And again, I think when you look at what is happening now, I think Gen Z need to come up with a different strategy, because this one has been completely infiltrated by the goons or the government or the NIS or whoever is sponsoring the goons. Because definitely these goons, as I said in my yesterday's video, if you remember, if you watched my yesterday video, I told you that, in fact, before that demonstration, I said that Gen Z had been heavily infiltrated and they were going to interfere with the demonstrations. Now it look like the destruction of property. It look like it is looting. It doesn't look like demonstration anymore. It doesn't look like peaceful protest anymore. And what we are seeing is that kwanza tumeona all the members of parliament have gone underground. Hakuna hata mmoja ambaye anaongea, wameenda mafichoni, because I think they are fearing to antagonize Kenyans. And the image of our country is getting worse every day. Our Kenyans in diaspora are actually being humiliated. And what I noted is that in Mombasa, some tourists were attacked. And this is something that is very calculated. When you look at it, it is very much calculated. So why are you attacking the tourists? Why attack the tourist? Because ukiangalia utaona ya kwamba the bad image of a country is now with us. And that is why America, Russia, and many other countries gave warning to their citizens, especially those who are in Kenya. They have to be very, very careful anytime they are coming to the city, anytime they are moving. And I know that this is something that is giving William Samoei Ruto headache. So what are we saying here, ladies and gentlemen? That Ruto is badly exposed and he seems clueless, and the scenes of today are very, very sad if what we saw is anything to go by. And the government has completely failed. And we are in deep hole and we are still digging, guys. And what you can say, I can only remind the Gen Z about Eneke the Bad. If you read Chinua Achebe, things fall apart as they are falling in this country. Eneke the Bad says that since men have learned to shoot without missing, I have learned to fly without perching. It is time to change the strategy. That is my point. It is now the time to come up with a different strategy to push the government to give in to the demands of the Gen Z and the millennial guys. And what do I propose here? Something very simple, something that is going to work, something that can work. It has worked everywhere. Campaign for people to go on strike. Stay at home. Matatus, stay at home. Buses, stays at home. Everyone stays at home. Doctor stays at home. Everyone stays at home. Gen Z, stay at home. Millennials, stay at home. X generation, stay at home. Everyone stays at home. If that one happens, I think it is going to bring William Samoei Ruto either to negotiating table or to completely give in to the demand. Because if you continue with the way we are doing things, I think we cannot get different results. Because if you want to get different results, you must do something in a different way. Otherwise, the way things are now, it will look like these guys, the goons, have actually overtaken the demonstrations. And on a day like this, if you follow that one, if you study history, you realize that this is something that was employed. Somebody was telling me it was employed in America during when the terrorists struck the heart of United States. Wakati huo, is it September 11? I'm on September 9, you can remind me. What happened is that people decided to stay at home because they were feeling that they were not safe. And there is no aid to this game. If the government is thinking that there is going to be an aid, the aid is not somewhere near. And when you look at our country, you realize that mtukufu William Samoei Ruto Rais, I don't know whatever name you call it. You see, there's no way that the military can leave the streets and allow the policemen wire pale too. There's no way the policemen can watch the goons doing whatever they were doing. And even those coffins that were littered along Moi Avenue, they were meant to scare the demonstrators. They were meant, tukaona polisi wakichukua yale majeneza pale, zile jeneza zichukuliwa pale. And they were also meant to create some panic. And probably we also need to be aware of the mercenaries, because this could be mercenaries who could be coming to a country, or who could be hired. And these mercenaries could be living with us or with the policemen. And I also understand, I was going through the papers, and I saw at the headline that needs to be analyzed. That is a Daily Nation. And they are saying that the government has zeroed in on some people. I think 2 Nairobi politicians, one from Mount Kenya, another one is from Rift Valley, a businessman, and they are being accused of financing the demonstrators, others bankrolling them, providing transport to them. But when you read everything, it is amounting to zero. The government doesn't have any information, because the Gen Z is a spirit. The government is fighting a spirit, and it is trying. And I understand that is why people are being kidnapped, so that they could give information. And for those of you who listen to Alfred Ketel, alisema vile ambavyo alikuwa anaulizwa vile wanafanya kazi na Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Rigathi Gachagua, and so on and so forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, the Gen Z need to change the strategy to get different results. Otherwise, if we continue this way, we may not achieve much. Already, they have achieved so much. So much has been achieved, and I told you in one of my videos that Kenya will never be the same again. If you look at the politicians, when you look at the kind of life they were living, sasa angalia, wametulia, wamejificha. They are not even talking. When you look at our roads, walikuwa wanajitokeza barabarani, ni kama barabara zote zilikuwa zao. In fact, using even the wrong side of the road, even the roundabout, without caring. Bodyguards all over. Wengine walikuwa wanaendesha pale wakitoa mabuduki pale, scaring everybody. So they have been humbled. If you look at parliament in future, members of parliament have to be very, very careful. And I know it's just a matter of time before you start seeing some changes. Expect changes. And I know if William Samoei Ruto is going to go all the way to 2027, he's going to survive this onslaught. Expect a lot of changes from his government. And anytime, I expect him to start shuffling the cabinet, because, he is reading the mood. And the funny thing is that he's not responding. But I think he's going to respond with the time. I don't know where you're watching this video from, but please, guys, like this video, comment, and subscribe if you want to subscribe to this channel. Till next time, adios.